There you go.
Oh.
Okay. There is a delay of, I think, 10 seconds on the YouTube stream, so.
I'm listening to it here. Ryan, can you please check your chat and confirm my message?
Right, your place.
I got it.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Super fine, Alex.
Yes.
Okay, but I do see a few people that didn't get Ryan's memo about their background tonight. Ryan?
I tried, we just tried to use it and part of my face was missing and it wasn't gonna work.
My background for you, Ryan?
Halo.
Wow.
For some reason, we can't get backgrounds to work on this setup. It looks poor.
Half of my face was missing.
Yes, but it was the good half or bad half?
Yes,
Okay.
half of both.
So half of
All right.
both. Well,
Go
No.
the top half.
It is 7:03 and we shall get the show going. Ladies and gentlemen, those both live in the Zoom meeting with us, as well as the those that are joining us via YouTube Live, I wish to welcome you to the installation of HMJ's officers for the ensuing term. Wanted to very much show my appreciation for helping to support all of our members. We've been working to be active during this time of COVID, and every other week we've been having an active Zoom meeting with multiple members, usually close to 20 joining us. So it's been really great. And we appreciate all of the adult support that are allowing our youth to be able to participate. This time I would like to introduce Kenneth Copeland as the installing officer for tonight's installation. Kenneth.
Thank you. Assisting me tonight as installing senior counselor is Brother Joshua Evanstad. The communications chairman for DMLA in Washington. Assisting me as installing junior counselor is Brother Curtis Copeland, the state senior counselor of DMLA in Washington and a past master counselor of Henry M. Jackson chapter. Assisting me as installing marshal and installing chaplain is Brother Alex Fritz, the state junior counselor of DMLA in Washington. And assisting me with the master counselor obligation in installing Brother Ryan is the dad, Colton Matthew Jenkins, a past state master counselor of DMLA in Washington. Friends, on behalf of Henry M. Jackson Chapter, Order of DMLA, we welcome you most cordially to the ceremony of installing the officers who have been elected or appointed for the ensuing term. It may not be out of place at this time to explain briefly the general purposes of our order, to which only young men between the ages of 12 and 21 years are eligible. While we have secret signs, words, and modes of recognition, we have no secrets from the world so far as our central purposes are concerned. We are banded together for mutual improvement, to help each other live clean, manly, upright, patriotic lives, which will be a credit to our parents and friends, and which will merit the commendation of all good men. In our meetings, we inculcate only principles which are in harmony with this exalted purpose, and in our daily lives, we seek to carry them into effect. We feel we can rightly bespeak for our order in general, and for ourselves in particular, the hearty assistance of all good men and women. Our forefathers were well aware that religious liberty, represented by the Holy Bible, civil liberty, represented by the flag of our country, and intellectual liberty, represented by the school books, must go hand in hand in order to be effective. Around these bulwarks, the Order of Demolay places 7 candles, which are symbolic of the 7 cardinal virtues of a Demolay: filial love, reverence for sacred things, courtesy, comradeship, fidelity, cleanness, and patriotism. As the light from these candles symbolically permeates this chapter room, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Brother installing senior counselor, you will symbolically open the Holy Bible on the altar.
We open the Holy Bible, the foundation of our faith and everlasting days, upon the altar as a symbol of the religious liberty which is the birthright of all people. Upon that altar, it is not the emblem of any creed or the repository of any system of theology, but the world of the one living and true God, whose universal fatherhood teaches the unescapable lesson of the brotherhood of all his sons. Without the consequences, our freedom would be a mockery, and therefore, as the foundation of all our liberties, we place the word of God upon our altar. And I solemnly enjoin the members of this chapter ever to walk in the light of its teachings and never to meet save around its open pages.
Brother installing junior counselor, you will see that the flag of our country is presented.
All right, everyone please join me in saluting and pledging allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We present the flag of our country at the altar as a symbol of civil liberty, without which there could be no religious freedom. It is especially appropriate that this flag be committed to these young men, so soon to become the citizens by whose patriotism its honor must be defended, whether on the fields of battle or the perpetual battlefields where good citizenship wages war with bad. In all the crises of our nation's history, we have called upon our young manhood, and thank God it has never failed to respond. Young men have fought in every war our country has ever waged, and the red of that glorious banner is dyed a richer hue with the precious blood our nation's youth has shed. We therefore present it at the altar as a sentinel to guard us while we worship, and I solemnly enjoin the members of this chapter ever to live worthy of that sacred banner.
From the station in the east, emblematic of the morning years of life, we symbolically place the school books on the altar as a symbol of the intellectual liberty without which there could be neither civil nor religious freedom. They are particularly emblematic of the great public school system of our country, the foundation of that universal enlightenment which is the crowning glory of our institutions. Devoted championship of our public schools is a cardinal teaching of the Order of Demolay. We are unalterably opposed to the same building housing a school, a church, and a seat of civil government. Civil, religious, and intellectual liberty are the 3 sources of our country's greatness, but they must stand alone, upon separate foundations and under separate roofs. These books, representative of those being carried to and from the public schools by millions of boys and girls each day, are just as vital symbols of our liberties as the Holy Bible, which is the rule and guide of our faith, or the flag, which protects the school, the church, and the seat of civil power. We, therefore, place these books upon the altar, and I solemnly enjoin the members of Henry M. Jackson Chapter ever to stand unswervingly for the protection and perpetuity of the free public schools, the citadel of our safety, and the source of the only real freedom possible in a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. As no great undertaking should ever begin without asking the blessing of Almighty God, let us give our attention to the installing chaplain as he leads us in prayer. Brother Installing Chaplain, you will lead us in prayer.
Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for the many opportunities we have to display Thy manifold gifts of grace. And we thank Thee for the privilege of service and the knowledge of Thine eternal love. We ask Thy special blessing upon these officers who are to assume the responsibility of leadership within this chapter. Reassure them of Thy continued guidance and protecting care. Give them the will to understand, the courage to do that which is right, and the strength to carry out Thy teachings. Amen.
There we go. I now declare this chapter open for the purpose of installation. Brother Installing Marshal, you will read the names of the officers who have been elected or appointed to serve this chapter for the ensuing term.
Master Counselor, Ryan Gehrig. Senior Counselor, Sean Maldonado. Junior Counselor, Drayden Clark. Scribe, Landon Sadler. Senior Deacon, Paul Atkins. Junior Deacon, Stephen Suarez. Senior Steward, Henry Apple. Junior Steward, Michael Cole. Marshal, Cooper Fagan. Standard Bearer, Nicholas Varn. Chaplain, Nathan McGinty. Treasurer, Zach Torrey. Almoner, Kenneth Copeland. Orator, Curtis Copeland. First Preceptor, Sebastian Cartwright. Second Preceptor, Jake Fagan. Third Preceptor, Jared Christensen. Fourth Preceptor, Connor Christensen.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Brethren of the chapter, you behold those who have been elected or appointed to serve you for the next term. Do you promise faithfully to cooperate with them in their efforts to advance the interests of our order?
We do.
Can all HMJ members join in saying we do?
I do.
I do.
We do.
Okay. Do you promise to lay aside all petty jealousies and ambitions and work loyally and earnestly with them in performing whatever part of our common task may be assigned to you?
We do.
We do.
You do.
Awesome. Brother counselors, you have heard the assurance of your brethren and their promises of loyal support within and without the chapter. Do you in turn promise to labor zealously with them toward the accomplishment of the purposes which animate us all?
We do.
We do.
Do you promise to lay aside all petty distinctions of official position, yet labor all the more earnestly to show your appreciation of the honor bestowed upon you?
We
We
do.
do.
Brother counselors and brethren of this chapter, on behalf of our order, I accept these pledges of cooperation as a happy augury of the success which such mutual harmony and zeal assure. The common burden can be borne by neither officers nor members alone. The most efficient officers who could be chosen would be ineffective without the loyal help of the members, and the most enthusiastic members would be powerless without intelligent and consecrated leadership. Without this faithful and efficient cooperation, you cannot hope for and you would not deserve success. Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the Master Counselor-elect for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting Brother Ryan Gehrig, who's been elected to the honor roll office of Master Counselor for the ensuing term.
Brother Ryan, you've been elected to the honorable office of Master Counselor of this chapter. I need not remind you that, as your title suggests, you are the leader of the body. You are not to be arrogant or dictatorial. Rather, you are to lead those who follow you gladly, because you have proved your willingness to listen to counsel as well as to give it. It is your duty to preside at all meetings and to perform all duties which naturally pertain to such an office, or which may devolve upon you from time to time. Before taking this office, however, we must hear from you a public declaration. Are you ready to make this declaration?
I am.
Then I will pass it on to Dad Jenkins, who will lead you in this declaration.
Brother Ryan, Timmy, Gehrig, you will symbolically place your hands. It looks like you're at a table. So place them at the table as if there was a Holy Bible there. Do you promise to follow in the footsteps of Jacques de Molay should service and duty demand it?
I do.
Do you promise, upon your honor as a de Molay, that you will demand of each member clean living, high respect for parents, and deference to womanhood?
I do.
Do you promise that you will be just while deciding between one brother and another?
I do.
Do you promise that you will obey the laws of your city, state, and nation, and always deserve the reputation and character of a good citizen?
I do.
Do you promise that you will endeavor to aid the members of this chapter to a greater realization of their duties to our beloved country?
I do.
Do you promise, I'm sorry, the screen switched. Do you promise to aid the distressed and weary and never permit a brother to go in need?
I do.
Do you promise that you will at all times obey the rules and regulations of de Molay International?
I do.
Do you promise that you will never permit a meeting to close without a word of prayer for your mother, your father, or your country's welfare?
I do.
Do you promise that you will see that both degrees of this order are presented at least once during your term of office?
I do.
Do you promise that you will, to the best of your ability, provide observance for any obligatory days falling within your term of office?
I do.
Do you now declare that you will uphold the public school system and hold it to be a bulwark of our citizenship?
I do.
Then you will have symbolically sealed your vows by kissing the Holy Bible. Kenneth, back to you.
Brother Master Counselor, before you and about you are your brethren, brethren and friends for you is the Master Counselor. Brother Installing Marshal. Yeah. Woo! Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the Senior Counselor-elect for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting the senior, Brother Sean Maldonado, who has been elected to Senior Counselor for the ensuing term.
Brother Sean, you have been elected by your brethren to the second highest office in their gift, and it will be your duty to preside in the absence of the Master Counselor. It is necessary, therefore, that you be fully qualified to fill not only your own particular station, but also that of your immediate superior. Your station in the west is symbolic of the setting sun and emblematic of the night which heralds the eternal day. Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the Junior Counselor-elect for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting Brother Drayden Clark, who's been elected to Junior Counselor for the ensuing term.
Brother Drayden, the office of Junior Counselor is one of dignity and honor. The members of this chapter expressed their confidence in you when you were elected to this position. You are to cooperate heartily with the other two counselors as prescribed by our ritual. Your capabilities and effectiveness will afford the best proof of your zeal and interest in this chapter. Your station is in the south, symbolic of the meridian sun or the moon of life. Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the deacons for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting Brother Paul Atkins, who has been chosen as Senior Deacon, and Brother Stephen Suarez, who's been chosen Junior Deacon for the ensuing term.
Brother Paul, the office of Senior Deacon is one of the most important in the official line. In the interpretation of the work of the order, you've been assigned a role which is both arduous and honorable. Your selection for this rank is a compliment to your efficiency, and I trust that you will labor zealously to vindicate the wisdom of your selection. Brother Stephen, as Junior Deacon, you will be the inner guard of the chapter, and will assist the Senior Deacon in the ceremony of initiation. I enjoin upon you the same devotion to the work of the order, which is the duty of all officers of whatever rank or station. Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the stewards for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting Brother Henry Apple, who has been chosen as Senior Steward, and Brother Michael Coyle, who has been chosen Junior Steward for the ensuing term.
Brothers Henry and Michael, your duties are suggested by your titles, and as integral parts of our work, they have a definite place. You are to assist the deacons in conducting candidates through the ceremony of initiation. You will have many opportunities for effective service, and your very rank teaches us that all service is honorable and worthy of faithful performance. Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the Marshal and Sentinel for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting Brother Cooper Fagan, who's been chosen as Marshal for the ensuing term, and
Oh, pardon me,
Sentinel.
Brother Cooper. It will be your duty to conduct such processions as our rites prescribe, and to perform such other duties as may be enjoined upon you. Dignity and efficiency will lend effectiveness to the performance of your duties, which are by no means unimportant. Brother Installing Marshal will present the chaplain for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, it takes me great pleasure in presenting Brother Nathan McGinty, who's been chosen for chaplain for the ensuing term.
Brother Nathan, you have been selected for a very sacred and honorable office. As your title implies, you are to lead the chapter in its devotions, and I need not remind you that your conduct at all times should be scrupulously consonant with the dignity, the solemnity, and the sanctity of those duties. The strictest decorum is necessary in all official stations, but yours is one particularly demanding such qualities as will vindicate the wisdom of your selection. Our devotions are not unmeaning forms, but the practice of duties constantly inculcated in our teaching. Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the scribe and standard bearer for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting Landon Sadler, who's been chosen as scribe for the ensuing term, and Brother Nicholas Varn, who's been chosen as standard bearer for the ensuing term.
Brother Landon, you have been chosen to record the proceedings of the chapter, and I enjoin upon you the care, neatness, and efficiency which make a secretary's work valuable to any order. The duties of your office are many and varied, and are not confined to the meetings of the chapter. We rely upon your fidelity at all times, that no confusion or dispute may arise in connection with the chapter's routine business. Brother Nicholas, as the title of the office implies, you are to be the official custodian of the beloved emblem of our country's greatness. Patriotism is one of the cardinal virtues of our order, and as the formal guardian of the flag, you are to remind us of our duties as common sharers in the blessings won for us by all the sacrifices of those who have lived well and died gloriously in behalf of our country. The honor of that flag is soon to be committed to our hands, and it is no light distinction which has been accorded you as its keeper. Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the preceptors for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I'd like to take pleasure in presenting Sebastian Cartwright, who's been chosen as first preceptor, Jake Fagan, who's been chosen as second preceptor, Jared Christensen, who's been chosen as third preceptor, and Connor Christensen, chosen as fourth preceptor for the ensuing term.
My brothers, it is unnecessary for me to emphasize the importance of the duties you are to perform in exemplifying our ritual. Without entering into the details of your share of this work, I can consistently enjoin upon you the highest efficiency of which you are capable. Your very selection is an honor, for to you has been committed the most impressive feature of our ceremony of initiation. The impression you make upon the candidates who are presented to you will be an abiding one, and in proportion to your effectiveness will that impression be what it is so earnestly desired to be. Brother Installing Marshal, we will now proclaim the officers of Henry M. Jackson Chapter, Order of Demolay, duly and irregularly installed.
In the name and under the authority of Demolay International, and by the direction of the installing officer, I declare the officers of Henry M. Jackson Chapter, Order of Demolay, duly and regularly installed.
I apologize. I think I actually missed a couple of names on the list. Can you scroll back up? Okay. Brother Marshall, my apologies. You will present the orator for installation.
Brother Installing Officer, I take pleasure in presenting Brother Curtis Copeland, who's been chosen as orator for the ensuing term.
Okay. I see. Brother Curtis, you've been selected as the orator of this chapter. It is an office the importance of which cannot be overestimated. The interpretation of the lesson to be taught in the DMLA degree depends in a large measure on the manner in which the orator makes his explanation of the fundamental significance of the teachings of our order. No small measure of ability will be required to make your portion of the ritual impressive, and your selection for this office is an automatic proof of the Master Counselor's confidence that you possess and will display that ability. Now, if I can ask Dad Jenkins to install myself as the almoner.
I would love to. Brother Kenneth Allen Copeland, it is your province to remind us in the performance of your duties as almoner that charity, not the ostentatious and unmeaning doing out of alms, but the charity which has been translated brotherly love, is a virtue which all should practice. The cry of need is ever sounding in our ears, and to it our ears must never be closed.
Okay, and now, Brother Marshall, you will declare the officers of Henry M. Jackson Chapter duly and regularly installed.
In the name and under the authority of DMLA International, and by the direction of the installing officer, I declare the officers of Henry M. Jackson chapter duly and regularly installed.
Now I pass it on to you, brother. Oh, well. Brother Master Counselor, and Brian, I now present you with the gavel of authority and enjoin upon you the duty of wielding it with dignity, impartiality, and courtesy, never forgetting that though you are temporarily the chief among your brethren, you have only emerged for a brief time from the ranks, and to the ranks you will soon return. Now I pass it on to you, Brother Ryan.
All right.
Use your big words.
All right. Hello.
Don't look at me. You got an agenda there.
Right.
Thank you.
Agenda. Cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Introductions. Is there anybody from state here? I don't.
You need to speak up.
I don't know what to do. Okay.
You need to speak up. Brother Installing Marshall, please present the Master Counselor.
Brother Installing Marshall, you please present the State Master Counselor at the symbolic altar, because there isn't a real.
I would love to. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Kenneth Allen Copeland, the State Master Counselor for DeMolay, Washington.
Hello.
Brother Kenneth Copeland, would you be so kind as to introduce the rest of the state officers present?
I can. With me tonight are brothers Curtis Copeland, the State Senior Counselor of DeMolay, Washington, and brother Alex Fritz, the State Junior Counselor of DeMolay, Washington.
Hello. My mic was unmuted for some reason.
Okay.
Is there anyone visiting from a neighboring region outside of the Evergreen region?
Settle down. Settle down.
That's not cool. Is there anybody visiting, or are there is the Evergreen region representative present?
No light.
Hello, I'm Adrian Freewalt. I am part of Rainier chapter.
I'm sorry. Brother Master Counselor, if I might also introduce Brother Joshua Evanstad, who is the Communications Chairman, and Brother Adrian Freewalt, who is the Leadership Chairman of DeMolay, Washington this year.
Thank you all for coming. Brother Installing Marshall, would you please introduce the Region Master Counselor for Evergreen?
Of course, Brother Master Counselor and Brother in the chapter gives me great pleasure in introducing Landon Sadler, who's the Evergreen Region Master Counselor for this year.
Cool backdrop.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Are there any visiting master counselors or leaders from other Masonic bodies?
I think he's after her. Mm-hmm. Very nervous.
He's muted.
I believe you are muted, Brother Master Counselor.
I don't know how to get rid of that.
I'll just leave it. See?
Oh, shit. Shut.
Will you please introduce yourselves?
Hmm.
Are there any visiting master counselors or leaders from other Masonic bodies present?
Master Counselor, Eric Gilliott and Sarah Gilliott, worthy matron and worthy patron of Afton Chapter OES, number 103, that meets at Crystal Lodge.
Thank you for coming.
Did that. There it is.
Brother Master Counselor.
You're muted.
No, I'm not. Brother Master Counselor, it's your grandfather and grandmother from Spokane, Washington. And I'm sitting worshipful master at North Hill, number 210 in Spokane. Congratulations to you and the other officers. It's been a pleasure watching you.
Thank you for coming. Introduction of family. Are there any of my family present?
Depends. Did you do your chores? Raymond Garrett, I put up with him. Most days.
Brother Sean, do you have any family present that you would like to introduce?
Nope.
Brother Drayden, do you have any family present that you would like to introduce?
I believe my mom may be on the Zoom, and maybe my grandfather, since my mom is at my grandfather's house. I do not know.
Now it bulks up. It was before. It was
Congratulations, Drayden.
Thank you.
Are there any presentations or awards? Yes. That looks like a really big cardboard box.
Well, it's not. So you have your grandfather's membership then. Your now gavel of authority, which was once my authority, engraved with your name and your particulars. So as you can see, generationally, we're cluttering you up here.
Uh-oh.
And then, as seems to be HMJ tradition, here is your Word of office, used for disciplining those that don't do the ritual, cutting your dagwood sandwiches, and occasionally impressing the girls at an arch of steel.
Okay. Ah, sorry.
Whoop, 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 whoop. More swords.
But is it pointy?
I think I'll figure that out later. Not recommended at the moment. Okay. Yep.
I would say learn your ritual.
Take a look. We're not muted.
Are there any other presentations or awards?
I can't find where he is, though. I went and did it. There he is.
All right. Remarks. Are there any remarks from the floor?
Down on the floor, please.
If I may, Brother Mass Counselor. All right. I just wanted to congratulate you on a amazing installation, and to say that it's it was a lot of fun being here. But I also wanted to remind you guys that this Sunday there's going to be a Facebook Live video where the State Corps is going to be shooting paintball at Kenneth as he runs across the field.
I can't wait.
And we are going to post that at exactly noon on Sunday. As in, we're going to start like going live, right? We're going to be live at noon on Sunday, and I encourage everyone to be on Facebook Live to watch this momentous occasion as my beautiful Clone Wars paintball jersey gets completely splattered with paint. Yep.
You say you can't wait, but that's until you say that until you get hit by the first shot.
Well, but then the waiting will be over.
Then you wish that it took that you had more time to prepare. I don't know. Let's see. Region deputy is not here. Are there any remarks from the region master?
I'd just like to congratulate you on a nice installation. I really enjoyed being here. I know as Master Counselor, you're going to make the most of it, and I'm excited to see what you do. So again, thanks for having me, and I can't wait for the games afterwards.
Are there any remarks from the state master counselor?
Absolutely. So first of all, I want to call upon Brother Curtis. He was gonna mention our virtual investiture day that's coming up on October 24th. Curtis, do you have anything else about that?
Not really. That's a lot of the information. It's going to be virtual. October 24th. I know that, you know, a lot of people that we know are getting awards such as the Chevalier. So we really wanted to continue to provide this opportunity for you guys to see that and for us to make that happen. So I just encourage you all to keep an eye on when that's going to be and tune in when that happens. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And then one more announcement, and it has to do with this Sunday, is that we've posted so far that every $5 that we raise on our GoFundMe towards the Shriners Hospital for Children in Spokane, which is our charity for the year, every $5 that we raise on that GoFundMe before Saturday is a single paintball that's going to fly at me when we go live on Sunday. And we are going to be counting all donations that are made on that GoFundMe until noon tomorrow on Saturday. So if you want to fire paintballs at me, then the time is in the next a little more than 12 hours. No more than 12 hours, I can do math. So if you want to donate, then go right on that GoFundMe and contribute to this wonderful cause that has affected a lot of people in the Masonic family and has made a truly great impact. So that's my other announcement. Ryan, I remember when you were initiated in the chapter, so I feel like I have to say something there. I remember when we nicknamed you Waddle because you would only move forward in very small steps. You're very shy. I'm very happy and very proud to see that you have grown a lot from that, and you are now in the very honorable position of Master Counselor, and I'm very proud of you for that. I know that you're going to do a good job. I know that this may not be the most pleasant of circumstances to enter upon being Master Counselor, but I know that of all people, I know you are prepared for it. I know you're going to do a great job, and I can't wait to, even just as a member of Henry M. Jackson chapter, to be a part of those meetings, to be a part of those events, and all the great stuff that you will lead our chapter into doing. That said, congratulations everyone on your installation. Thank you everyone who is visiting tonight. I am extremely grateful to see that we have 26 people here who are comprised of people in the chapter, people without the chapter, visitors, friends. I'm extremely grateful to see that. And thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. Thank you.
do.
Right. Are there any remarks from the chapter chairman?
Wow. Okay. So, Brother Master Counselor, thank you indeed for calling upon me to share that we are currently streaming to, I was looking on the YouTube channel. Looks like we have 10 viewers over there. So we're up to 36 total. Who knows whose room sharing and all that fun stuff. So that's a great turnout for a virtual installation. I gotta say that this is the first time I've ever live streamed, trying to get all the pieces to look right, I feel like I gotta have 3 computers to do all this. So thank you for challenging me to step up to help make this a great event. I can tell you, Ryan, you have been just always felt like you were right there, and you just needed to break out of that shell, and I think that you are there. You're master counselor now, and wow, I can tell you that I'm excited. I can really feel the energy from everyone. We're looking to have fun. We're looking to, keep moving forward. And when we can get back together, I'm sure we're looking forward to yelling and screaming in the same room. I look forward to that day too. Brother Master Counselor, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming tonight. I truly appreciate all your support for our guys here in this chapter. They do amazing things, especially when challenged. They bring out the best in everybody. And again, I just can't wait to see where they're going to take us next. Thank you, Brother Master Counselor.
Thank you. Are there any remarks from the dad advisor?
Thank you, Master Counselor. First off, I wish to say congratulations to you and to all the members of HMJ that have been installed this evening. I want to say thank you to your installation team for helping to make this happen. It's it's great to have Evergreen Region and the state Master Counselor and Senior Master Counselor assist, especially when they're also members of HMJ. I look forward to a great term. We're here to support you. All of your previous Master Counselors that have stepped in that chair before you are here to help. All you have to do is open your mouth, ask a question, and also all of the senior DMLAs that are part of the chapter, like Nick, CJ's listening on the live stream with Nick, and you've got Dominic here, and I know Jeff. They're all here to help you as well. Your advisors are here to help you. So you are not alone in this. We will help lift you up and carry you forward. Especially to help you keep your dad in line. Yeah. I want to say thank you to everyone that has been here to participate in this event with us. It's not as much fun as being in a room together and maybe having a Nerf war afterwards, but those times will be coming again soon. And I look forward to having our first Nerf challenge at the lodge once we can open it back up. And thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you. And now my remarks. Oh. Thank you all for coming to the installation. Thank you everyone on the installing team for helping me do this and installing everybody and all that. And thank you everyone, all my brothers, for being there throughout all of it. If it weren't for you, I kind of wouldn't have been elected and be up here because it's how that works. We do. Is there on the screen right now the link to the Discord for all the games and Among Us sessions and whatever for after? I will be posting it in the general for the chapter Discord and the state Discord as well. And after everything is done, so everybody has the option and the way to join it. Thank you all for coming. Brother Installing Officer, will you please take it from here?
Absolutely, Brother Master Counselor. Brethren and friends, before concluding our ceremonies, let us unite in prayer. Brother Installing Chaplain, you will lead us in prayer.
Kind of quiet about.
Our Father, in heaven, wilt thou bestow upon us, as we are about to leave this place, thy benediction of thy holy favor. Wilt thou inspire us in us to in all the high purposes we have heard and here enjoined. Wilt thou bless all who are dedicated to the cause of virtue, of clean and manly living, of clean lives, and honor thy great sacred name. Bless the cause in which we young men are laboring, and may our order become a more power for a good in this community and throughout our land. Amen.
I now declare this chapter closed.